Hey everyone, this is a breakdown of how much money I made in my second year as a CPA firm owner. Back in May of 2022, I made a video going over my first year as a CPA firm owner. I recommend you watch that video before you watch this one. Here's a quick background. I'm 32. I started my firm in 2020. I've been a CPA since 2014, and I just started making YouTube content last year. The goal of this video is to bring transparency to the industry and get a lot of YouTube views. Daddy needs to get monetized. So a lot has happened since 2021. In 2021, I started to dabble in services that weren't just focused on tax, which I like to call business accounting services. I had a lot of capacity due to extended tax deadlines, and it was the best year in terms of work-life balance that I'd ever experienced as a CPA. In 2022, there was a reckoning. Little did I know when I tweeted that, I would be one of those that were reckoned. I worked considerably more from January to April and August to October compared to in 2021. Even though 2022 was great financially, the quality of life downgrade didn't seem worth it, but it was worth it because I discovered how I want to spend my time going forward. It's also giving me motivation not to be shy with price increases. If I can start my business over again, I would be quicker to increase pricing for clients that I started with. My new client pricing increased at a significantly higher rate than returning client pricing. I was just trying to be nice. I bet I received that advice when I started my firm a few years ago. But when you're the sole provider, you have to guarantee that money will be there, which means having pricing that you think new and returning clients will want. I also struggled with not wanting to disappoint people, and I believe that increasing prices would do just that. But I ended up realizing I didn't want to let my family down more. I recently saw this tweet, and it's so true because this year I crossed into the 100K space, spoiler alert, and realized how limited I am when it comes to making money when I'm providing one-to-one services. The numbers. If you remember, my 2021 goal was to gross 100K, and I ended up at 142K and took home 83K. I did not have a revenue goal for 2022. I'm not sure if I had any goals other than to survive because I knew it would be rough due to not having extended deadlines from COVID and winter storms. I ended up having 42 new client meetings in 2022. 32 of those happened between January and April. I converted 29 of those meetings, a 69% win rate. Nice. Even nicer was that I was paid for all of those meetings. The meeting price started at $100 in the beginning of the year and went up to $150 starting in March. Now, beginning of 2023, it's $200 to meet with me if you're a potential client looking for taxes and accounting. So more than half of those potential client meetings came from referrals from other professionals. I'm hoping in 2023, new client meetings slow down. In fact, I should probably cut off earlier than normal and start a wait list because I am the boss after all. It's so hard to turn down work. Income. Let's talk about my income for 2022. I had 6 primary sources of income: accounting and bookkeeping, new client consultations, partnership income, tax advisory, tax return preparation, and YouTube. I made $142,500 from preparing tax returns. Whoa. That was my total gross income for 2021. Just bonkers. I made $32,200 from tax advisory. I didn't bother breaking that into subcategories like I said I would in my 2021 video, but it includes year-round access for quick questions, tax projections, tax consultations, and other taxi stuff. I made $11,800 from accounting services. I made $10,300 from partnership income, which basically is onboarding new members to Jason's Realize community, and referral income. Jason added a ton of new members last year. Check out his community Realize, by the way. Tell him I sent you. I made $5,500 from new client consultations. Getting paid for new client consults was new in 2022 and ended up being pretty successful, as you can see. Am I off level? Last but not least, YouTube content. Just kidding. I didn't make any money from YouTube in 2022. I did make 31 videos though, and I'm still working on getting monetized and working on sponsorships, which excitingly leads me to the sponsor of this video, Ignition. From the very start of launching my CPA firm, I put a high value on software that would improve my quality of life. If there's a software that can create value for my business and clients, reduce repetitive tasks, reduce time spent on those tasks, and be fun to use, it's a no-brainer for me to implement the software. Ignition happens to do all those things. With Ignition, I'm able to create a slick-looking proposal with multiple packages, get my engagement letter signed, collect payment information, set up recurring payments, and automate the start of my project management system in a matter of minutes. I've been using Ignition from the beginning, and it has helped me scale my business to where it is now in just 2 years. I love using Ignition to send out hundreds of proposals at once at the beginning of the year. And I love that I never have to worry if I'm gonna get paid for a project because I have their payment information and can pull payment with just a click of a button. Ignition is not just for accounting firms. Consultants, business coaches, creative agencies, or any professional services business would also benefit from Ignition. Thank you so much, Ignition, for sponsoring this video. Ignition brings everything you need to engage clients seamlessly, get paid effortlessly, and run your business on autopilot in one place. For more information on Ignition, check out the details in the video description below. Time to conclude how much income my firm made in 2022. Total income, $202,300. I was trying to do that John Cena gif. Let's break down the tax return prep income. I prepared roughly 178 tax returns, which is somehow less than what I prepared in 2021 by 6 returns. I have no idea how that happened because it felt like I prepared 500 returns. It could be because tax returns took longer to prepare and there was more workload compression. Here's a breakdown of the type of returns I prepared. 150 1040s or personal returns, 20 S corporations, 4 trusts or state returns, and 4 1065s or partnership returns. Context. If you calculate the average price for each tax return prepared in 2022, it's about $800 per return. That's compared to $600 in 2021. Believe it or not, 2023 should see a similar price increase. I think I'm addicted to raising my prices, or I'm starting to understand my value as a CPA in 2022. So early in 2022, my minimum was $800 for 1040. At the end of 2022, it was $1,000. Expenses. Time to talk about tax deductions, baby. Okay then, back to expenses. Outsourcing, $7,300. I'm trying out a tax prep outsourcing provider for about 50 returns in 2023. This will help reduce my time preparing returns and increase the quality because I will be reviewing the return with fresh eyes. Contractor Brian, $8,250. Employee, $1,400. I actually hired my dad as my admin in 2022. Thanks, Dad. Continuing education, $1,600. Membership dues, $1,500. I joined the AI CPA. Business insurance, $660. Licenses, $130. Marketing, $300. Meals, $230. Office expenses, $1,100. Post office expenses, $320. Payment processing, $560. Reimbursable expenses, $1,700. Sales tax, $250. Software, $30,500. Hey, that's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Travel, $500. Video gear, $1,800. Total expenses, $58,100. It's cool to see that my expenses stayed pretty much the same, even though I prepaid about $8,000 worth of 2023 tax prep labor, and I had a lot more income. Take-home pay for 2022 was roughly $145,900 versus $83,480, a 75% increase. Wait, that's not right. 83, oh, it is right. A 75% increase. That's about a 72% profit margin. Okay, I gotta confess, when I was making the script for this video, I noticed I said I had a 75% profit margin for 2021, and in reality, it was 59%. Whoopsies, I'm not really good at numbers. It was only 3 years ago when I was making $47,000 as an employee. As a firm owner in 2022, I made almost $100,000 on top of that. There are very few things that give you greater sense of accomplishment than owning your own business. I owe much of my success to other professionals that have referred work to me, and I also owe it to my clients for working with me. Thank you. I also couldn't do what I do without my wife. She's basically my caretaker between January and April. So Logan, how many hours did you work in 2022? Well, I didn't track my hours, but for 2023, I am tracking my time. So in 2022, I didn't work Sundays for the most part, even during busy season, and I took every Friday off from April 15th to sometime in August. I doubt I hit more than 65 hours in 1 week during the peak of tax busy season. The problem that I ran into in 2022 was the lack of free time where I could focus on working on my business. There was a constant workload because I didn't say no enough. Even though I made way more money in 2022 compared to 2021, I didn't have as much fun as I did in 2021. I got stuck working in the business, and that caused my mental state to be focused on project work instead of being able to work on business strategy, creating YouTube content, or not working at all and spending time with family or hobbies. It took 2 months to recover from the tax busy season. The future. For 2023, I'm outsourcing tax return prep for the first time, other than contractor Brian, through a service provider to reduce the amount of time I am spending on tax return prep. If it works out, I would love to outsource all of my tax return prep through employees, contractors, or outsourcing, but I would still be the final reviewer of the returns. The only way to achieve that is to have a high tax prep minimum. Taking home less money in 2023 is okay with me on one condition. I'm working less on one-to-one services, and I have more time to do what I want. For 2023, I'm going to try to focus more on leveraging one-to-many revenue streams. I still love what I do. I love taxes. I love preparing tax returns. Ooh, tummy. I still love what I do. However, I found that I also love to produce YouTube content. So I'm gonna do everything I can to do more of what I love. At the end of the day, being a CPA firm is a great way to make a living, and you still have time to do what you want, unless you're me in 2022. I'd love it if you continued with me on my journey as a CPA firm owner and tax content provider by doing the things that get me more views. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.